why is gaming so poised for disruption by NFTs? Is it that interoperability aspect? And if so, like what makes you so excited about this idea of interoperable game assets? I feel like BYOPills really came out from the jump and said our NFTs are going to be consumable in the metaverse by like all games or many games, not
Yeah.
just the one we're building. And so I feel like you guys have put a big emphasis on that. And I want to kind of hear from
Mhm.
you. Why is that aspect of crypto and Web3 so powerful for gaming?
Yeah, sure. I mean, for to start, I think like having a digital item, like a pill that acts as a consumable in one game, like we're just limiting it. If it's not in Web3, it's on a centralized game server. That item is just for that game, and the utility that's provided to that item is going to be limited to what that game provides. But with Web3, we open that up to so many different. We just increase the potential of that one item. It doesn't have to be just a consumable in your game, but it could also act as different types of consumables in other games, and maybe not just consumables. Maybe like we've seen with some talks with our potential partners. Uh, you know, s- for example, a BYOPill could act as bait for a Venari in the game of Legends of Venari, for example. So it could take many different shapes and forms, and just adding on to that value of that token. At the same time, it could act as a way to provide access to other parts of the game, and not just a consumable itself. But for example, pill holders have been getting drops the past year since we've launched, right? So that is just like in my opinion, an added value to owning a game item that's supposed to be just a consumable, but you're actually now getting, eventually you're going to be getting a trip token with that. You're going to be getting some drops. You're going to be getting access to other games that could also provide drops to that asset. Uh, and then you add another layer to that of access to like merch and all these types of things. So really, the potential is unlimited when it comes to game item or a digital item in general. Uh, and that's really what makes it exciting. It just opens up the opportunities for so many ways to integrate an NFT, not just in your world but also other worlds, and promoting not just your world but also promoting other worlds as well. So and it fits the Web3 ethos of like a community building together, trying to create this ultimate open metaverse that is interconnected.
Yeah. And have we ever seen an in-game asset that has utility in other games before? Like, I mean, it just seems like it was never possible in any prior Web 2 game. I mean, anyone that's on a console, any computer
Yeah.
game. I mean, there's never been an in-game item that's usable by basically any other game before, right?
Exactly.
No, we haven't. And this is where it also allows us, it's just like these in the traditional world again, there's these SDKs, these software development kits that usually people would take and use to build upon existing games. And I see the pills and any like consumables in the metaverse and Web3 ownership. It's basically opening this SDK for any other game that would like to integrate pills. Like even if we collaborate with a specific a number of projects, you could have any other project that really didn't have any communication with us. They could link to the blockchain and tell their communities, you know what, if you guys own pills, you're gonna get power ups in our game. And they could just develop on the pills in their game. They don't even need our permission. And this is what's so nice about Web3. And this adds to the interoperability factor. It's just everywhere, it can happen easily, and it's just amazing, really.
That's awesome. And yeah, we'll get into we'll get into more of how many like partners you imagine using this in a minute here. But I think it's really exciting, and it just opens up the opportunity for how far these NFTs can reach, right? Like the more partnerships that are enabled, the more different communities you get involved, and all of a sudden these NFTs can take a life on their own outside of the Bioverse.
Exactly, and just from a gamer's perspective, like imagine you spend your time, effort, and skill into one game, and you unlock or earn a certain item that could not just be used in that game, but also knowing that you could go and use that same item in other games. I think it adds more exciting factors to gaming. For example, we're still in early talks, and this is by no means an alpha leak. But for example, with Legends of Venari, one of our partners, their game is all about capturing Venaris using bait. But imagine you're able to capture a Venari in their game and then bring that captured creature back into the BYOVERSE that you could use as a sort of pet or a beast in some way, right? A companion. So all of a sudden, just capturing that creature becomes so much more exciting because you know it has utility in other games, and that's really what makes Web3 gaming just so exciting from a gamer's perspective.
You're listening to the Unstoppable Podcast, the go-to place for everyone to learn about the latest innovations in Web3, NFTs, and the decentralized web. Welcome to the Metaverse.